Brand new 43 Tierra. It's got twin 600s on it. These dual props got 27.5 pitch props. Those are some diggers. So what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Today we're actually coming to the end of our Contender saga here. Well, let me show you. We basically have just a few things left to do. I got everything fired up already here. Our GPSs are working. We got our new transducer in. I'm not going to read right in the air here. It's doing whatever it wants to. Everything here is done. We're still waiting for this stereo. Basically our dash here is 100% complete. We turn around here. We actually have the new seats they put in here. There's a Cushing company coming that has to do all the gunnels still. Everything has to be done there. The boat was fully detailed. Basically everything is done. Cushions, all of our stuff here. We have to take it for a ride still, but that'll be probably the last video we make for this one. Actually, one thing I have not done yet, which we'll do here in a second, is fire these up. Just curious to have no hours on the new computers and harnesses and everything that we put on it. I've even changed this to kind of resemble everything else. Put the carbon fiber background on it so it matches everything we got going on here. I'm just going to push the start-stop button real quick and see, oh, we also got steering. Steering is working perfectly. Nice and smooth. Let's just see if they fire. Actually, just want to pop them off. Ooh, there's one. Nice. So we're ready to run there. I've sealed all of our hatches back up here. Got new fuel senders in there. In the last video I had a comment that they said it looked like it was corroded in there. I thought so too, but it's actually just overlaid with fiberglass. For some reason they put the tank in there and they sprayed like a green primer. I should have put it on the camera before I sealed it back up, but it really wasn't that corroded. Let's go down into our console here. I'm going to leave that. I'm going to clean that and reseal it, but that's right where the new transducer is. When we put it in the water, I just want to make sure we got no leaks or anything coming through there. We even got a new toilet seat in there. Let me jump in here real quick. Now, also mounted this is our Reactor 40. That's for the autopilot. Got to keep it away from magnets and stuff because it's pretty basically our heading. All of our pumps are done here. Of course, we got our amp in. We've seen that video. And looking in here, all of our wiring is done. Basically, just got a reflection of me here. Let's see if I can get out of the way. So yeah, looks pretty cool with this backlit. And when you come in here and you flip our little courtesy light on, you also get the glowing effect inside of here. But now we actually have one final piece here to our puzzle. We're going to swap out the radar on top because we're putting a new Phantom 24 on there. So, let's get started. Alright, let's jump down here. We'll run around into our back room here where our radar is sitting. I already opened it up because I wanted to make sure everything was there. I'm hoping it's on a bracket that these will match up. So we just bolt it in. And basically it's just a network and a power cable, so hopefully it's the same thing. We can just swap it out and it'll work. But we're about to find out. So let me jump on the top there and I'll meet you up there. So here's our old radar right here. It's a pretty cool view up here, check it out. You can see the aquarium really well over there. That's one of the new FXO 42 Regals there, the flybridge version of it. So basically this shouldn't be too big a deal. I just gotta take these bolts off right here, and we'll pull this off. So let me undo these, and then we'll yank the radar off here, and we'll see what's underneath. We got our bolts out here. Now here's the moment of truth. I'm hoping that the connection is just a network and our power feed, so I don't have to rerun cables all the way down, because this radar actually works just fine. We're just swapping it out to the new one since everything else is new. So let's look underneath. Well, that's good news. That is the same power connection and the same network that I need. So let me get this one off here. We'll get the new one on. Alright, before we put it up on top, we got studs here that we got to stick in each side. It's a little bit different than the last one was somebody put bolts in, but this time we're going to use the studs they provided. I don't want to use those old bolts. Before you yell at me about the cabling, it's actually the radar wasn't that old. It was probably only a couple of years, maybe, something like that. I just took a look at the ends. The other ends were good. I've already powered it back up. So there's nothing wrong with the network or the power cable. It would be pretty difficult to run through this boat anyways because it's foam filled. And there's actually foam. They squirted more foam down the holes to where the wires go. That'll be a couple hours of me digging stuff out and trying to run new cable through this boat. This is about the easiest job I've had so far on it. So let's get this thing on the top. Yeah, so I cleaned everything off already. But take a look. Our network, nothing wrong with that. Power cable, nothing wrong with that. No corrosion, perfectly clean. So there's no reason to waste time changing those out. Like I was saying before, the lightning strike took out everything but this radar. I don't know why, but it didn't seem to affect the power cable or the network because she lit up just fine. This one is the new style that matches with our new Garmin's down there, and it should be a little bit more accurate because it's pretty simple. You have this, keep your cables in. Obviously it just says front, easy enough, network and power. And we'll have to put our nuts on here and make sure it all works. So when we mount it up, I'm not actually going to mount our nuts on here until we actually see this thing light up and work on the Garmin screens. So let me do that and I'll meet you down below. Alright, let's turn on some battery switches now. All four. And you can stop that. Let's let these light up. And we'll see if we can get this radar spinning up there. So she's plugged in. We should be able to just see it. Radar automatically. Single. Ready. Spinning up. Look at that. Let's overlay it on our maps. How about that? There we go. Zoom her in. Well, she is a-working. Our heading is backwards because we haven't adjusted our autopilot, because we got to do that in the water. That'll be one of our final steps, is dialing in the autopilot and the heading sensor. What do we got over here? Oh, that's our gain for it. We're just gonna leave it on auto. The customer can play with this if he wants to. A good deal. She's a-working. Let's shut everything down here. Well, that concludes today's activities. Actually, just got to do a few more things here, clean up a little bit. But continuing with the theme from the last video, I got some more lost footage I found. I got quite a bit of it, actually. Of course, there's ambulances in the background. Old. So anyway, if you've been following along with me here, you might know that I have 3 young kids. I got a 5-year-old, a 7-year-old, and a 9-year-old. They're actually really close together. Funny enough, they're actually 7 days apart in February. But it's boy, girl, boy. And when I had my last one down in St. Pete, Albert Whitted Airport. So after everybody was resting, baby was fine, everything was good. It was like 7 o'clock in the morning. I decided to go down to the airport, and go in the helicopter, and take my daughter for a ride. So here's some of that footage. I also have some motorcycle, maybe some car footage. I've built a lot of things. I've ridden about everything. If you can't tell, I'm pretty much 100% a gearhead. I like anything that has a motor, anything that'll move. I've driven it, flown it, rode it, whatever you can do. I guess the only thing I haven't done is driven a train, but maybe one day I will. Anyway, as always, I appreciate everybody watching. I'll see you next time. Later.